Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep. My name is Agork. Today I'm going to be showing you the first ever sub 25 minute speedrun in Stranded Deep. Okay, we're going to go straight into the cartographer here and look at the seed that we're going to be running. Here's the seed number in the top right corner. It is 11395653. You can go into Create a World, type in that number, and you can check out this world yourself. You can see it's a very interesting world. Everything's in basically a straight line here. Right in the center here is my start island. I have the two bosses to the west and a boss and the aircraft carrier to the east. And I have some surrounding islands. So basically what I'm going to be doing in this speed run, I'm going to start on my start island where there's a tanker, there's all sorts of resources. I'm going to gather pretty much everything I can. I'm going to take out this boss, then this boss, head over to this island, grab some potatoes and perhaps a lashing or two, and then to the final island where I'm going to set up my fuel stills, cook my fuel, and sleep the night. And then the next day I'm going to take out the final boss and escape. Pretty straightforward, very compact. I managed to get everything done on just these 3 islands. Really fantastic. As you can guess, this is going to be a set seed glitch permitted speedrun. The glitch that I'm using is a player movement exploit or glitch. It's not a mod, it's not a cheat code, I'm not using the dev console. For those of you that are suspicious, all I have done is changed the in-game input settings to something else, which allows me to go very fast. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Contact me on speedrun.com, just look up my username, Agork, send me a private message, I will be happy to tell you how to do it. So I'm not trying to keep it a secret from anyone other than maybe the devs, because I don't want them to fix the glitch. That's pretty much it. All right, so let's get back. I am recording all of this, of course, after I've already done the speed run. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the actual gameplay video, and I'll continue commenting from there. Okay, so we're back on the actual video. This is going to go pretty quick. I just quickly opened the cartographer to show what seed it is. I'm playing on standard settings. Male character, permadeath is on. Okay, so one other thing that's really of note here is that speedrun.com has changed the way that the timing is done on these speedruns. It used to be from the day 1 screen until the logo came up at the end of the game, but now they've changed it so that the last interaction is when the time stops. So that's basically when you click the button to launch yourself off the aircraft carrier. Now that knocked off about 1 minute and 40 seconds off of our times. So that's why we're down threatening to do under 25 minutes now, which is fantastic. The timer will start when day 1 comes on the screen. There we go. We'll spawn in on our life raft. I have to wait a few seconds for this to render in, and then I grab my loot. I'm off to the first wreck. I've got a crate with a jerry can in it already, another jerry can and a plank, a third jerry can. I'm on my first wreck. I've already got 3 jerry cans. That is absolutely insane. I have never had that good of RNG before, and I get another jerry can right there. 4 jerry cans in my first 2 wrecks. That's absolutely insane. And here I was already freaking out thinking, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. I've never had such good luck at the start of a run before. And now I'm just quickly grabbing what I can here. I get cut up on that ledge there, which is unfortunate. Now, my strategy here in the beginning is basically to loot the wrecks, grab as much as I can, see what kind of loot I get, because the loot in this game is completely random every time you play. RNG can be brutal. You'll often get a lot of engine parts and not much of anything useful in a speedrun. Here I was really fortunate to get the 4 jerry cans right off the bat. And that's such a rare thing. Like I say, it just never happened to me before. I was freaking out at this point. I'm a bit messed up here trying to put things into my crates. I'm usually a little bit more efficient than this, but I was literally freaking out because I already had the 4 jerry cans. I do get my act together again and get organized and manage to get this done. I've got 2 pieces of leather there, which is good. I've got some cloth, which is a new strategy I'm using in this speedrun that I haven't used for a while, which I'll get to a little later. Just dropping all the stuff that I don't need. got my jerry cans, I've got one plank, I've got 2 pieces of leather. So basically what I need to do now is head back to the ship. I'm looking primarily for extra loot, which is 3 more planks, a bunch of lashings, some more leather, some lanterns, and there's another jerry can, 2 lashings, that was good. And I need to pick up a couple of more crates as well. Now here I kind of decide that I'm going to go for it. See, I have quite a bit of leather already. I've already got 4 pieces of leather, I believe, at this point. And I only need 6 pieces of leather if I'm going to build a bed and take it with me, which is kind of a cool thing because it allows me to not have to build a shelter on the final island. And that's something that I usually always have to do in the dark after the sun has gone down. And it's always a pain in the butt. You're scrambling around in the dark trying to find things. So I figure if I can make a bed, that would be fantastic. So I just need a couple of more pieces of leather. I've got air tanks. I've got the inventory space. I'm going to go through the rest of the wreck here and see if I can find some leather. And there's one there. And of course, any extra lashings or rations are good as well. I wasn't really keeping track of how many planks I have. I think I end up taking too many here, but it doesn't really matter. You just drop them off. And there's my extra leather there, so I figured, okay, there's only a couple of crates left. I might as well go through these as well and get any extra lashings or rations. And I do get a couple of lashings and an extra piece of leather, and I'm out of here. Using the speed glitch to jump, I can go all the way from the ship to shore. That saves a lot of time. And I've got 2 planks too many, so they get dropped off over here. There's my 4 lashings. Drop off 1 more piece of leather here. That's my 3 I'll need for my tools. And then I've got the 3 for the bed. So this is perfect. I've even got 2 extra pieces of leather that I'm not going to be able to use. Okay, so the extra jerry can gets dumped over there. Don't need it. So put the air tanks in the 1 crate there in case I need those for boss fights and whatnot. And just dropping other things that I don't need over here. And I've got the 2 extra pieces of leather that I don't really need to do anything with. I'll just drop them over there. I've got space for 1 more lantern. Drop the other one. Okay, turning a few rocks into stone tools. Crafting a kindling, so I have it already made. And now I'm going to gather all these sticks, rocks, and fibrous leaves. Basically what I'm doing here, I'm going to spend a lot of time on the Start Island trying to get as much done as I possibly can ahead of time so that I don't have to do much on the final island. I want everything already done and everything, as much as possible at least, everything else gathered and crafted before I get there, because it's going to be about sunset, getting dark when I get there. I want to be doing as little as possible when I get there. Now with these rocks, I don't actually need all of these rocks for tools or for my fuel stills. I need 6 rocks for the fuel stills, which I'm putting in the crate. The rest of them I'm just turning into stone tools. I only need 5 stone tools, 2 for the axe I just made, 1 for a refined axe, which I just made again, and then the final 2 for a pickaxe. The rest of the stone tools are strictly for increasing my crafting level. With the yucca trees and the fibrous leaves here, of course, you can use these to make lashings. I'm making sure I have 2 extra fibrous leaves in my inventory when I break the yucca tree so I can craft 2 lashings at once. And this one I've got 2 extra fibrous leaves, so then I just have to find 2 more to craft 1 more lashing. I grab my potatoes. There are 3 potatoes on the Start Island here. There's a stick in the bush there. Those go in my fuel crates. This will be my coconut crate, which is where I'm going to put the extra lashings. I've got the leather I need for a pickaxe, so now I just have to increase my crafting level so that I can craft a pickaxe. Shouldn't take too long here. There we go. Oops, crafted 1 too many there. Just Found another loose stick. There we go. There's our pickaxe. Drop off the spears here to free up some inventory space. Drop the last of the stone tools because I don't need them anymore. This is the southeast tip of the island, which is where the clay is. This is where you'll always find clay. It's southeast part of the island. Nice little tip there if you didn't already know that. No sign of the shark, so that's great. And again, quick jump out of there. Drop off the clay. Okay, now all I have to do is chop down trees to make spears to increase my crafting and gather as many coconuts as I can here. With the coconuts, I need 10 drinks of water to escape on the final aircraft carrier island. And the easiest way to get your drinks is to use coconut flasks. You need a coconut and a lashing to create a coconut flask. And I'll need 10 of those, so 10 coconuts and 10 lashings. Here I don't quite have 14 coconuts. I need 10 for the drinks, and then I usually have 4 extras for food because you can break the coconuts apart to get 2 coconut halves, and each coconut half counts as 1 piece of food, and you need 10 pieces of food when you escape as well. So usually what I'll do is I'll use as many rations as I can find. Each ration counts as 1 piece of food, and then any leftovers that I need to fill up for 10, I use a coconut half. So for example, if I had 6 rations, I would put those in as 6 items of food, and then I would break apart 2 coconuts to get 4 coconut halves and fill it up to get to 10. Now this island was great because it had pretty much everything on it that I needed. I've got the 3 potatoes. You see my RNG was extremely good here in the beginning. I've got all the fuel cans, I've got all the leather, the planks, the lashings that I need for my fuel stills. I'm quickly crafting as many spears as I can. There's lots of these little ficus trees on here. Each one gives you 4 sticks, which you can turn into spears. And now I need a few extra sticks for crafting a bed. I'll drop off the spears first. I've got almost 2 full crates, so I think I do have 2 full crates worth of spears here, which is perfect for when I can take on the boss, the giant squid. And I'm keeping 3 sticks here so I can make a bed. There we go. And this is something that I have never done before in a speed run, is crafting a bed ahead of time. And I found that if you can get the leather for it, it's a huge time saver because you don't have to chop down a tree, you don't have to chop down the palm bunch, and you don't need to use a lashing, which is also important. I'm labeling all of my crates here, a single letter just so I know what they are. That S for spears, for example, N for nuts, R for rations, F for fuel, and FF is just fuel number 2, and W was for wood. All right, so I've got everything done, and we're off to the first boss fight. Okay, so I left the island just after 10 minutes. I have actually left the island much quicker than that before in other speed runs, but in those situations I was nowhere near as prepared as I am here. For example, I didn't have a bed, or my crates weren't labeled, or I didn't have lanterns, or I didn't have air tanks. Okay, so he's dead. So as you can see there, I'm using the speed glitch to stay in behind the boss and just whack him repeatedly with my axe. And I'll be doing the same thing with the Megalodon. The biggest problem with the Megalodon is that he's a lot faster than the eel, and he has a tendency to swim outside of his territory if you just keep chasing him in a straight line. So the trick with the Megalodon is to try and get him to keep close to the whale carcass here and not let him get too far out into the ocean. And you can kind of steer him by whacking him close to his head. He'll usually change direction. So it's safe to whack him a few times, but then I'll go closer to his head and get him to turn around. And he's being quite aggressive. He doesn't usually turn and attack me like that, but hey, you know, you can't blame the guy. I'm whacking him with a refined axe. Now, the Megalodon is actually a lot easier to kill than the eel, other than that risk that he swims outside of his territory. So he has fewer hit points. All right, so we're done with the two bosses. Now we're off to the second island, where I'm going to basically just grab some potatoes, maybe grab a lashing or two, and that's it. Need to free up an inventory spot, so that spear has to go. 2 fibrous leaves, yucca plants, craft 2 lashings, grab my first potato, second potato, and the boar is actually right there on the left. He's pointing the other way though, so he doesn't see me, which is very, very handy. I was going to grab a coconut there, but realized I didn't have the inventory space, so it's off to the final island. I've pretty much got everything done. I'm already fully leveled up, so I can craft my fuel stills. I just have to build the fires, the fire rings, and then the fuel stills themselves. Plunk down my bed, gather the last couple of potatoes, put the potatoes into the fuel stills, light them up, and then go to sleep. And I'll still need to craft a couple of coconut flasks, which will be no problem. I already have 8, I think. Got hit by another shark there. Okay, dropping my crates in a row here so they're easy to access. Putting my potatoes away just in order to free up an inventory slot because I know I'm going to need it. Crafting the first fire. Second fire. Grabbing the rocks, making my fire pits, drop the kindling and the clay here so it doesn't clutter up my inventory again. Grabbing the lanterns before it gets dark, got to spread these out so I don't lose sight of what I'm doing. I've had too many runs get ruined by fumbling around in the dark, so I've kind of learned from my own mistakes. Try not to let that happen. Okay, I should have enough here. I'm all leveled up. And yep, can put in the first fuel still. Short a couple of sticks. Can't see the clay, gotta move back a bit. There we go. Grab the last potatoes here. Only really needed one of those, but I grabbed both. Only need 8 potatoes, but I have 9, 3 on each island. So I just eat the last one, gives me a little bit of food. Get these lit up. So I've got these lit, we're a little over 16 minutes in, and I'm sleeping for the night. This is where RNG comes into effect as to what time I wake up in the morning. Normally it's going to be dark when I wake up, 4:30 in the morning, and the gods have smiled upon me here. The RNG gods finally gave me a good wake up time, and it's already bright. It's probably around 8 in the morning or 7. I don't even know what time it is. I didn't look at my watch. It's not really important the exact time, just the fact that the sun is up and it's been up for a while by the looks of it. So this is absolutely fantastic. Too many times trying to do this speed run, I ended up trying to take on the last boss fight in the early morning light. Sometimes I was even out on the buoy waiting for the sunrise, and you just can't see anything in the water at that time of day. So this is going to be a huge advantage that it's already light and the sun's already been up for a while. Visibility should be fine at the boss fight. And yeah, this should go way better than it has in previous runs. I'm off the island at just a little over 17 minutes, which is just crazy. I've never been off that island before 18 minutes. And again, that was early morning when the light was horrible. So this is amazing. I know at this point that if I don't screw up here, this is going to be a new record time. I have my air tanks, I have 2 full crates of spears, and my crates are even labeled so I can see which ones are spears and which ones are not. I often spend time here fiddling about with my crates when I don't have them labeled and opening the wrong crates and stuff, so every little thing counts. I have my air tank, which allows me to stay down and not waste time surfacing. So again, it's every little thing counts here, and this run went almost perfectly. It's my second spear crate. Guess he looks like a pincushion now. Missed on that swipe there, which is unfortunate because he's really low. That might have actually killed him if I had hit him there. I hit him twice here. I think it was the first blow that killed him. So if I had managed to not miss that blow, I might have saved a few seconds, but you know, 3 or 4 seconds isn't really going to make a big difference in the long run. Day survived 1, so it's basically 9 a.m. on day 2. I've been playing in-game for a full day. And I'm going to use the time here while I wait for the ramp to load in to craft my aircraft parts. You get 1 aircraft part for each boss. And again, here I was really nervous, so I accidentally crafted a trophy, but that doesn't really matter either. I had to wait for my speed bar to go up here. My speed bar is used up and I don't want to fall in this hole, so I'm good. I can sprint over and jump and not fall in the hole. So that was perfectly timed. And we are escaping. We're at the aircraft at 21 minutes. Drop the trophy. Repair the aircraft. So I've got 8 rations. Each one counts as 1 food item. I debate whether to eat one of these and think, oh, screw it, no, I'm going to use all 8, so then I only have to crack open 1 coconut. If I had eaten one, I would have had to crack open 2 coconuts, so just a bit of time saving. Got my 10 coconut flasks. Got 10 drinks of water. Now sometimes I hold down the button too long and I pick up the coconut again by accident. I try not to do that, but it does happen once in a while. So I end up holding a couple of extra coconuts there at the end, which are empty, so no big deal. And here I kind of panicked a little bit, thinking, oh god, I'm low on water. I'm going to break open one coconut and drink it. I accidentally grabbed two, and I have an empty one in my hand, so I say, oh, screw it, I'm just going to try and escape, see if it lets me, and it did let me, so I wasn't too low on water that it would have stopped me from escaping, so no harm, no foul. And we're under 23 minutes at this point. My aim was to come in at sub 25, and it looks like we're going to be right around sub 24. So this is way better than I had expected. As I say, the RNG was just amazing. My boss kills were efficient. The RNG with what time I woke up in the morning was great. This basically went about as well as I could possibly expect it to go with RNG, with efficiency and everything. I didn't make any glaring errors. And this is why I think it went so well. This is going to be a new world record time. Sub 24 minutes by the looks of it. The timer will stop when I launch off the pad or press the final button to launch off the pad, which will be coming up very, very, very shortly. And there it is. 23 minutes, 55 seconds, and some odd milliseconds. Sub 24 minutes. Absolutely insane. I don't know how I'm ever going to beat this or how anyone's going to beat this, to be quite honest. Unless any new glitches are found that will speed up things even more. I just can't see how I could beat this time. The RNG was just absolutely nuts. Okay, so we just have to wait for the final scenes to play through, and at the end of the speed run, when the credits start to roll, I'll go to the in-game timer to show you what it says, because I always like to do that just to prove to you that I didn't cheat, that I haven't messed with the times or anything. And yeah, let's see what comes up here. How's it going, Ducky? Ready for another Let's Play Harder series episode? We'll get into that, I guess, next. There it is. 23 minutes, 55 seconds, and some odd milliseconds. I don't have the timer in front of me, so I can't give you the exact time, but it's on the screen, so you can see it there. And the credits will roll in a moment here. I'll just cut to that as soon as the logo starts to come up on the bottom here. Beam Team Games, there we go. And the in-game timer, 23 minutes. It doesn't show the seconds, unfortunately. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So I guess anything under 24 minutes shows as 23, but if I'd been at 24 minutes and 1 second, for example, or even just 24 minutes even, then that would say 24 minutes. So proof in the pudding, I was under 24 minutes, 23 minutes, 55 seconds, and some odd milliseconds. A new world record, set seed, glitch permitted, speed run. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Take some of the things I do in here, use them in your own gameplay. And yeah, leave a like, comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Subscribe to my channel. It does help me out. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.